Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, and I'm back to bring you another episode review from the Loud House European Road Trip arc. So let's get right into it. Today's European road trip episode is Alpining Away. In this episode, the Louds travel to the Alps in Switzerland where Lynn plans to compete in the Snow Fury competition, and she falls in love with a local town boy named Henrik, who is also planning to partake in the competition. The moment I heard about this episode, three things came to mind. Back in Black, L is for Love, and Singled Out. Alpining Away takes story elements from all three episodes and blends them together into one. Back in Black was about Lucy falling in love with Rocky and her sisters tried to help her get a boyfriend. In this episode, it's Lynn falling in love and Lori and Leni try to help her get Henrik's attention. Then there's L is for Love, where everyone thought they had a secret admirer and tried to reciprocate their feelings for their individual love interests. And finally, there's Singled Out, where Lynn wants nothing to do with romance but tries to get into a relationship anyway so she doesn't feel like a third wheel when her teammates all have significant others. This season 8 episode seems to thoroughly contradict Lynn's performance in Singled Out, where she expressed zero interest in romance and dating. Now she actually has genuine feelings for someone, as if the events of Singled Out never even happened. Alpining is inconsistent with a past episode from season 4, and that episode was also inconsistent about Lynn's romantic feelings, or I guess lack thereof, from past episodes in seasons 1 and 2. However, the only justification I can give regarding this change in her character would be one of two things. First, Lynn is growing up and her feelings about love and romance may have changed over time. Some of us used to think romance was stupid at one point, and then we started thinking the opposite later on. Lynn probably had a romantic interest in season 2, but probably fell off by season 4, and you can listen to my fan theory about her dehydration excuse in my review of Singled Out for further clarification. My second justification sort of plays into my fan theory. Lynn says she's a rookie when it comes to romance, and I think I can see why that is. She was too rough and a little disgusting towards Francisco when she first tried talking to him, and she even says she would normally start a conversation with someone by giving them a friendly chest bump. Perhaps her tough, aggressive, and kinda gross demeanor is what caused her potential pairing with Francisco to fall apart, and maybe that's why she wasn't interested in finding a boyfriend in Singled Out. Hell, she proved to be overly aggressive when trying to find a fake boyfriend in the same episode. So maybe there's a connection to be made between Lynn's inability to form a relationship because of her gross and aggressive nature and her thinking it was love but it was actually dehydration excuse. It does sound like I'm nitpicking and overanalyzing Lynn's character way too much, and believe me, I totally am. But hey, I'm a guy who likes to pay attention to detail and can usually pick up on the slightest hint of discontinuity. I guess it shows how much I care about the series, and maybe I care a little bit too much. I know, I'm weird like that. I've grown to accept it. Okay, I think I rambled long enough, so let's get back to the review. Lori and Leni want Lynn to try casually approaching Henrik without coming off as too aggressive, but when she runs into a little trouble at a clock shop and while doing some outdoor polka dancing, her actions indirectly cause Henrik to get knocked around. But after accidentally stabbing him with a fork, the two of them begin talking and hanging out. However, their newly formed relationship begins to crack when Henrik says he's partaking in the Snow Fury competition and vows to beat a rival named Hans who beat him at last year's competition. Lynn is too scared to tell Henrik that she is going to be in the same competition and worries he's not going to like her anymore if she wins, and more importantly, if he loses. This got me thinking about that one episode of Full House where Stephanie had a crush on a boy from a rival baseball team. They form a friendly relationship, and this put Stephanie in a very conflicting situation. She had two choices: either throw the upcoming game and allow her boyfriend and his team to win, or stick by her own team by playing fair and striking him out even if it meant losing her boyfriend. Given her competitive nature, Lynn takes the latter option, but she does so by disguising herself as a girl named Helga. As expected, she outperforms Henrik at every stage of the competition and subsequently wins the trophy, leaving Henrik frustrated and Lynn feeling not so good. Later, when Henrik comments how he respects Lynn for being who she is and not pretending to be someone she's not, Lynn feels compelled to admit she was actually Helga from the competition. She says she did it so Henrik wouldn't be mad at her. She was scared Henrik wouldn't want anything more to do with her like he was with Hans. However, Henrik's rivalry extended all the way back to his childhood, not just to last year's Snow Fury where Hans beat him. Plus, Henrik was more upset in his own performance than actually losing, knowing he could have done better. In fact, he said Lynn's performance challenged him to be a better athlete, making Lynn not just an amazing friend or girlfriend, but as an inspiration and worthy adversary he came to respect. Plus, I don't think he would have been satisfied with winning if his super athletic girlfriend, whether she was wearing a disguise or not, intentionally underperformed and lost on purpose just to make him feel better. As a sports competitor, that would have been a very disrespectful thing for both of them. And since I'm bringing him up, I might as well talk about Henrik's character. As far as things go, he's a pretty likable guy. He's athletic, he has a sensitive side, and in my opinion, he's an ideal boyfriend for Lynn. He's not as rough and tough as she is, but they do have similarities. They're both competitive and love winning at sports no matter what, not to mention getting bummed out when they lose. And they have a few quirks that seem kinda weird and gross to others. But what really brings them together is that they're honest about the kind of people they are, they don't judge one another on their weirdness, and they're not afraid of letting others know about said weirdness. Also, Henrik likes to give people friendly chest bumps too, making him and Lynn even more compatible, which means Lori and Leni don't have all the knowledge of being crush coaches. Speaking of those two, Lori and Leni were also pretty good in this episode. They were super supportive in helping Lynn befriend Henrik, and the moments with them getting very excited and squealing about romance were very adorable. Overall, I thought I was going to hate this episode because it raised so many questions about past episodes and character continuity. But when I actually sat down and watched it for what it was, and trying to make sense of everything by applying my own personal headcanon theories, my overall perception changed for the better. The story was very relatable, believable, and it had a nice genuine feel to it. Yeah, sure, it has the typical moral about learning to be yourself instead of someone you're not, and we've seen this a million times before, but I think this episode handled that moral very well. It gave Lynn some development to her character by seeing her become a little more open to romance, and she was able to win someone over in the process. Her scenes with Henrik were very sweet, the stunts at the Snow Fury competition were pretty epic, and seeing her and Henrik remain very close despite her earlier deception was a very nice way to bring an end to the story. The scenes with Lori and Leni acting as Lynn's crush coaches were great, and they definitely had their adorable moments when they were getting all fangirl crazy about love. Henrik's performance was also very good. He was more than just the generic one-dimensional love object for the main character, and I respect the writers in that regard. The best part is that he has an upcoming role in Season 9, so at least he wasn't reduced to being a one-off character of the day. In closing, this was a great episode to serve as the halfway point of the European road trip arc. With 2 more episodes left, can the next episode outperform this one and the previous 2? We'll just have to see what the road has in store for us next time. With that said, I give Alpining Away an 8.8 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Alpining Away. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.